Namaste and welcome, beautiful yogis, to another breathwork session here on the mat. Today we are going to be covering Vritti pranayama. So before we dive into Vritti pranayama specifically, I wanted to touch on what Vritti pranayama really focuses on. And in order to do that, we must know that our breath fluctuates in many different ways between the duration of our inhales and our exhales, the pauses in between our inhales and our exhales. And it's really important to observe that and become aware of those different durations, because the more that we observe and become aware of those, the more control we can have over our breath and the expansion and involvement of our breath. And I touched on in the Ujjayi practice last week, or if you didn't do that last week, just the Ujjayi practice right before this one, that the more we become aware of our breath, the more our lung capacity will expand, because we're really prioritizing our breathwork practice. So, to dive into the Vritti pranayama, there are two different Vritti pranayamas. Today we will be covering the Vritti pranayama, which is the equal fluctuation between our inhales and our exhales. And then Vritti, which we will go over at a later date, is the unequal fluctuation between our inhales and our exhales. So I thought it would be beautiful to start with Vritti so we can just really gain awareness of what our capacity is for our inhales and our exhales. So before going into this practice, I really want to point out the priority and the focus on not as much forcing ourselves to do longer and deeper breaths, but more focusing on the balance between the two and how it feels. So observing how it feels within us and making sure that what we are doing is always comfortable and feeling good. We can challenge ourselves, but when any discomfort comes up, that will discourage the practice, and that may make it to where you don't want to continue on with the practice because you had a bad experience. So really honor where you are right now and take it day by day. Take it breath by breath. Beautiful. So to get started, you can start in an easy pose, one foot over the other, crisscrossed, or I'll always recommend a block or a meditation cushion or just a good old pillow right under the bum, like this. Sometimes it's nice to elevate the hips. Beautiful. So we'll place both of our hands on our knees, palms facing up to the sky. And to start, before going into Vritti, we're just going to start with a natural observation of our breath. Flutter the eyes, elongate the spine, and just connect to the natural rhythm of your breath. Feeling the body rise, the belly and the chest on your inhale, and feeling it naturally fall and deflate on your exhale. Not forcing anything. But really just observing your breath for what it is. Do you notice that your breath is short? Maybe you were running around, busy doing things before this. Or do you notice that your breaths are very shallow and deep and long? Maybe you were very relaxed before starting this. Whatever your breath is doing, wherever it's at, let it be. Be a silent observer. Once you find yourself very connected with that natural rhythm of breath, very comfortable, I welcome you to gradually start to count your inhales and your exhales and see where they are at. Are they equal? Are they unequal? Are you inhaling longer than you're exhaling? I welcome you to observe this and just begin to gradually count, to become aware of where you are at. You can count out loud or in your head, whichever works best for you. I'm going to count in my head to give you that silence to connect to your own personal rhythm of breath. If you notice yourself trying to force your breath to increase in length, catch yourself and drop back in to that natural rhythm. Beautiful. You can pause here. Shift your body in any way that you need. Make sure that you're comfortable, because now we are going to go into the Vritti breath. So, moving forward, I ask you, take those observations that you just made in those past two practices, the observation of your natural rhythm and the counting practice that we just did, and move forward now into seeing what amount of breaths can you do that feels good to your body that will be equal to each other. So a great starting point for most people is 3 to 5. So I recommend starting with 3, counting 1, 2, 3 on your inhale, and 1, 2, 3 as you exhale out. And I also recommend breathing out of your nose rather than your mouth. This is the ultimate goal, but if you ever at any time feel you need to release out of your mouth, please do so. Do what is going to feel most comfortable and best to you. So for the first couple rounds, I will count, and then I'll let you continue on silently, and then I will increase by 2, but only increase by 2 if you feel comfortable to do so. Again, the focus is not to have deep, long, lengthy breaths, but the focus is on rather to create that equilibrium within your body to your breath. So we're going to start with 3. Go ahead and inhale a deep breath in and exhale out of your mouth. One more time to prepare. And exhale, let it all go. Now let's begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Pause for a second. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Pause. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Continue on with this rhythm. 3 for 3 for several more rounds. Few more at the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. One more time at the same count. Beautiful. Find stillness here. Inhale into the belly. Place your hand over your womb, your belly. Place your other hand on your chest. Exhale, big sigh out of the mouth. Again, just like that. Beautiful. From here, we're going to go into another round, except this time we're going to increase up to a count of 5. Again, if you do not feel comfortable going up to 5, maybe try 4, or just stay at 3 if you found that to be your capacity at this point in your practice. Beautiful. Palms facing to the sky. Roll your shoulders up and back, down away from your ears. Elongate through the spine. And let's begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel your belly decrease as you release air. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll guide you through one more and then I'll leave you in silence. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue on with this 5 for 5 count, connecting your body to your breath. Few more rounds, just like this. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When you're ready, flutter your eyes open and take in the beautiful area surrounding you. You might want to tap your feet out if they got numb at all. Sometimes that happens to me. The block can really help if that happens. And this goes for not only your breath work sessions, but your meditation. Anytime you're sitting in one position for too long, that can happen. Know that it's totally normal. But beautiful. I hope that you are feeling more connected, more grounded, more aware of your breath. And if you would like to evolve and expand on this practice, I recommend that for maybe 1 week, you try to continue on with the 5 count or the 3 count, if that's where you are in your practice. And then maybe after a week of doing that 3 or 5 count, maybe the next week you increase it by 1 or 2. And then maybe the next week you increase it by another 1 or 2. until you find that kind of that perfect spot for you. We are constantly and always going to be evolving and growing in our practice. We're going to be expanding our lung capacity, and we're going to be gaining awareness more and more every single day, especially when we choose to prioritize things like taking moments for ourselves to just breathe and connect and be present right here, right now. Our bodies are amazing. Our breath is incredible. I had such a wonderful time right here on the mat breathing with you today, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Go ahead and try to practice this for the next week. Get really comfortable with this breath before I introduce to you another breath next week. It's been so much fun, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Namaste.